Oh, welcome, boys and girls. Come gather round. I'm so glad to see you because I want you to listen to the story of a nice white lady. Once upon a time, there was a nice white lady. Now, those three words are important, but other words describe her too, including the name you may call her: Mom, Grandma, Aunt Jane, Teacher. Now, black people call her Becky. Now, not all nice white ladies are Beckys, but all Beckys are nice white ladies. Being a nice white lady is a complicated medical disorder. Nice white lady syndrome. Symptoms include an eagerness to help the marginalized, believing you make a big difference, and knowing that you're better than everyone else. According to us nice white ladies, if I don't intend to be bossy, I am not bossy. And if I don't intend to be racist, I am not racist. Still, we sometimes say things that people of color don't like. Oh, may I touch your hair? What do you mean? You don't speak Spanish? Oh, no. Where are you really from? Oh, you don't smell like rice. Remember, nice is a 4-letter word. My father was a minister. No money, lots of respect. I was not around many people of color, although we did host black members of our denomination, and my parents treated them with affection and respect. Mom, why did Mr. Eck frown when I kissed Rosa Page Welch? Oh, well, men are not always comfortable with affection. Well, Rosa Page is special, isn't she? Oh, yes, she is. She's an important part of the denomination and a great singer. My mother was truly a nice white lady. She read a book to my brother and me titled One God and Many Ways to Worship Him. And in the 1940s, she was invited to speak at a black ministers' conference in Kansas City. My daughter Liz remembers that mother, her grandmother, gave her a black doll without comment. The doll was so loved that her right arm fell off, so it was Grandma to the rescue. My mother was good at repairing dolls, making limbs out of I don't remember what, and wrapping them in hosiery. Now Liz remembers that her grandmother refused to use any of the hosiery around the house. She insisted we buy black hosiery. I don't know where my mother's egalitarian spirit came from, because I do know that her mother, my grandmother, called black people monkeys, and that my mother remembered Klan activity in the Kansas City neighborhood where she grew up. So I grew up to be a nice white lady and did all of the nice white lady things. College, League of Women Voters, church choir, nonprofit fundraising campaigns. All right, children, come on, gather round and listen to the next chapter. The slave owner's wife may have been the very first nice white lady. After all, she taught her good slaves to read. Oh, never mind that her entrepreneurial slaves had already risked everything to find a way to read on their own. But of course, they'll pretend for the nice white lady. It's for the nice white lady they've made spandex, L'Oreal hair color, and Pinterest. Now, she could never understand how anyone could be cruel to a puppy. And of course, she refused to believe in police brutality. She's gluten-free, volunteers at the food bank, and owns a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. She's probably going to tell you, oh, I dated a black guy in college and voted for Barack Obama twice. Remember, nice is a 4-letter word. In 1960, I was living in rural Kentucky, where my husband was a student pastor. Tom and Lola lived and worked on the Carlson farm, which was just across the road from us. I was 23 and now the mother of 2. I was experiencing post-birth complications, so Mrs. Carlson loaned Lola to me to do my household chores. Miss Barbara, I hear your feet's up there. You better get back to bed. Well, Lola and I liked each other, and I naively assumed we were friends. And I behaved as if I were seeking a Becky Award. We'll get to those soon. Lola, I'd really like to come visit you in your cabin. Well, Miss Barbara, for coffee. And although Southern hospitality at the time did not go this far, Lola opened her cabin door and I walked in. Well, welcome, Miss Barbara. Come sit at the table. I'll serve you coffee. And she did. But then she just stood there, tapping the fingers of her right hand into the palm of her left. Oh, Lola, please come join me after you get your coffee. Oh, she did. But she never stopped tapping her feet. Oh, Lola, I love the colors in the afghan over there. Did you knit that? Oh, yes, Miss Barbara. But the colors are on accident. I used the leftover yarn Miss Carlson gives me. But Lola, you might be interested to know that my husband has joined the lunch counter sit-ins in Nashville. You know, he's the white person who refuses to be served until all the Negroes at the counter are served. I watch it all on television, mainly to see if anybody I know gets arrested. Well, Miss Barbara, Nashville's a long way away, and, well, we farm folk don't pay a lot of attention. It was then that I noticed there was no television. And so, the naive, nice white lady, civil rights advocate, failed to understand that she was in the presence of black farm labor isolation, and that Lola would have to explain my presence in her cabin to Mrs. Carlson. Oh, Lola, I am so sorry. I didn't understand we couldn't be friends. Thank you. Thank you for doing whatever you had to cover for me. Oh, now, boys and girls, gather round, because And now we're going to read about the Becky Awards. Now, not only nice white ladies receive Becky Awards. The first Becky Award goes to Barbara Bush, a model of civility, literacy advocacy, and racial assumptions. This is what she had to say on national television when she was visiting the hurricane survivors in the Houston Astrodome. Oh, everyone is so overwhelmed with the hospitality. And you know, so many in the arena here, we are underprivileged anyway. So this is working very well for them. Remember, nice is a four-letter word. I began my transition from being a naive, nice white lady to just a white one with my search for a hangout bar after my divorce. Now, you must realize that in the 1980s, nice white ladies did not go to a bar alone. I was quick to observe that black men were the men who could most easily accept all of me, the sexy woman and the nice lady. And I found the perfect hangout at Spats, a small jazz club and bar. And this is where I met Omar, a world-class jazz drummer and high school music teacher. For my 50th birthday, my daughter and son-in-law hosted Omar and me at the dinner dance cruise on the Hornblower yacht. Omar escorts me to the dance floor, puts his arms around me. We dance a few steps and then Omar stops, pushes me gently away, looks in my eyes and says, "You really don't feel the beat, do you?" And that was the end of the dancing. Although I didn't tell him so, I was really mad at Omar. After all, it was my 50th birthday. And then, a few weeks later, came a whisper in my ear. "Oh, Becky, the beat is primary to Omar's being. And sure, you played the piano in your youth, but you were good only because you practiced. You really don't feel the beat." Oh, Omar did not deserve my anger. Call me Becky, if you must. All right, gather round, boys and girls. Oh, what a flurry of activity. Women knitting pink hats and making signs for the first Women's March in 2017. Now, Judy, a black woman, boycotted the 2017 march. Well, it was just a nice white lady parade, a feel-good exercise. Those pink hats meant nothing to me, except to equate me to a body part. And besides, no minority women were in on the organizing. Well, until that was pointed out to the nice white ladies. And then they recruited 3 minority activists. Oh, what the fuck, said the nice white ladies. At least Trump knows not every white woman voted for him. Remember, Nice is a four-letter word. Now, sleeping black does not mean you know black. And it doesn't mean you won't be a Becky. Stan was the second black man I dated seriously. We bought a house together in Oakland where no one chastised us for our black-white relationship. I think the apprehension that what surrounded a black man dating a white woman has diminished with the current prevalence of black women dating white men. But I will never forget the evening Stan and I drove to the Concord Pavilion for a concert. The passenger in the pickup truck that passed us into the parking lot gave Stan and me a scowl and the finger, and he was waiting for me when I stepped out of the car. Nigger lover! I had never been confronted by hate before, something people of color anticipate every day, and I was scared, really scared, especially since we were headed for lawn seating. Stan and I were at loose ends one Thanksgiving, and his cousin Yvonne invited us over. I went to the kitchen to hang out with Yvonne, Yvonne's friend, and the friend's granddaughter, whom I assumed to be about 10. I immediately offered to help. Oh, would you set the table, then peel potatoes? Sure. Well, here, it's an apron. Oh, thank you. Now, what happens next is a story I have told many times and with consistent response. White people burst into appreciative chuckles. Black and brown people express nothing. Something must be wrong. What is it? Now, I'm standing in the kitchen with an apron on, the only white person at this Thanksgiving gathering. I notice the little girl watching me. She seems to be puzzled by my presence. And while I'm standing at the stove, stirring the gravy, she crosses the kitchen, sidles in beside me, looks up and says, "Are you the maid?" It took me a long, long time to recognize that the humor in this story pivots on a racial stereotype. We assume maids are people of color. So, when black and brown people don't laugh, it's a lot like Lola tapping her feet as she endures my heedless behavior in a master-slave mentality world. What Becky moments will you confess to?